What is Season of Discovery? That is probably the question you're asking yourself right now, and I am here to answer that. So let's do it. So basically, Season of Discovery is a new game for World of Warcraft. Kind of like, you have World of Warcraft Retail, you have World of Warcraft Classic, you have World of Warcraft Hardcore. Now we're also getting Season of Discovery, which is going to be its own game. The first question you're probably asking is when and how much. So basically, World of Warcraft Season of Discovery is set to release on November 30 at 1 PM PST. Players can join the adventure with just an active subscription without the need of purchasing the game. So basically, everyone will be able to play Season of Discovery on the 30th November, 1 PM PST. If you're from Denmark, Germany, like that time zone, it's 10 in the evening. And of course, it will be you probably have to Google like 1 PM PST to see what the time is. But it's the normal World of Warcraft expansion time, but minus 2 hours. It's always like 2 hours later than this, but now it's 2 hours less. So basically. But again, everyone with just an active World of Warcraft subscription can play Season of Discovery. Let's get into what is different between Season of Discovery compared to the normal Classic. Because it is basically Classic, but with a twist, as the developers are saying themselves. So basically, level banded content. Important to know. Level banded content phases were inspired by the WoW Classic Beta, where level caps brought about a new and interesting take on gameplay and community. By stepping up to a new level cap after a period of time, we hope to make the season feel approachable with lots of to do, but never a feeling of it being left behind. To that end, we're working on a low-level XP boost for use later in the phase. So basically, the first thing you need to know about Season of Discovery is that there's a level cap when you play the game. So on the 30th November, when it releases, everyone is only able to get up to level 30, which is 25. 25, sorry for that. Level 25 is the max level for Season of Discovery, which makes the game very interesting because everyone likes to create like a twink and, like a level 19 rogue, something like that for Battlegrounds, and really try and get the best blue items for this level. Now, everyone is only able to get to level 25, and it's going to be totally different because you only have like 16 talent points you can choose between, and you have like, a limited items you can get from dungeons. So it's going to be really fun trying min-maxing on level 25. I mean, that's going to be fun. Don't worry, it's not all. This is not all. Trust me. Endgame gameplay. So new mechanics to family settings and characters are being introduced. Each raid that marks the level cap of a phase will be fully redesigned with new loot, new experience. Well PP events for players who prefer to go head to head are also being added. So basically what they're saying is that they're going to add a raid to each of these seasons in Season of Discovery. So basically, I can't spoil. I actually had it for last of this PowerPoint presentation, but I'm going to spoil it. The raid we're going to get in this first phase for level 25 is Black Phantom Deeps. So the raid that you usually, the 5-man dungeon, Black Phantom Deeps with Nagas and, like water elementals. That is actually the raid now. But let's get into that later. But this actually means that each of the seasons in this, or you can phases where you can increase the level cap. We start at 25, then maybe we're going to be like 30, 40, Each season is going to have different level caps, which is going to be interesting. But each of them is going to introduce like a new raid with new in-game, like, basically they redone the entire raid, which is going to be interesting. You can imagine Scarlet Monstery. They could possibly make Scarlet Monstery into a raid. That would actually be a dream coming true. So, this is the big one. This is the big one that really is going to make a lot of people play Season of Discovery. This is the main plot on why you want to play Season of Discovery, because of Rune Engravings. So you have the classic World of Warcraft, which has the limits. Retribution Paladins is a joke, Balance Druids is a joke, Elemental Shamans is a joke, Tank Paladins is a joke. There's a lot of specs and classes, which is a bit of a joke. Rune Engraving is here now to make sure that all the specs in the game is possible, and even adding new specs you don't know about. Let me give you some examples. Warlocks can now get a rune, which is basically making them into a tank. They have a metamorphosis ability where they turn into a demon, and now all the abilities changes into tank abilities, and you get like 500% more armor. Really cool. Rogues can be tanks. Shamans can be tanks. Mages can be healers. So if you always dreamed about being a mage healer, it's now. Paladin Retribution is going to be really good. They're going to get like Divine Storm, Crusader Strike. They can use Exorcist or Exorcism on all targets. Balance Druids are getting like tons of stuff like Starfire. You know, it's going to be wild. So, just to get to the facts, Rune Engraving is a new set of skills for all players that exist outside of the talent system. It allows you to apply new abilities to your equipment and swap them at any time. To start at level 25, you will have 3 slots to engrave: chest, legs and hands, with additional runes slots unlocking at high levels. So basically, as you can see in the images here behind my head and so on, you can see you can get these engravings, which you can then equip into your chest, legs and hands. I will be making some videos later about all the different runes you can get. You can also just go to Wowhead, Classic and Talent Calculator, and you can see them all in there if you want to have a look yourself. But this is really cool that this is basically giving you so many options for your class. You should really go in and read about all these. But I'm also making a video about all the runes, so you can see that on my channel very soon. But basically, there's also a rune that turns your pet that you have a hunters into a tank. So hunter pet tank is actually gonna be a thing for real. Like, I mean, that's a real thing. So, but yeah, you cannot like match, you cannot take spells from a warrior over to a paladin. That's not how it works. It's just you're gonna have like another abilities, like brand new abilities that we have never seen in the game, and some abilities that comes from retail. For example, Retribution Paladin is getting Crusader Strike and Divine Storm. That's from retail. So that's the way they're gonna mix it. But this is the Rune Engraving here is the main selling point on, I would say, the entire game expansion, whatever you can call it, Classic Plus. We also have something about class designs. The team's goals were to shake up the class meta and give each class something fun to draw on from some of our favorite abilities across the several expansions of World of Warcraft, with some fun new abilities tossed in as well, and focus on class fantasy while staying true to the classic game. And this is what I was talking about, like, you know, they're trying to make all the classes, all the specs, you know, they're trying to really make all the classes fun and renewing to play. So it really feels like a new class. You still have played it for the last 19 years, but for you it still feels kind of new. We're also going to talk about Black Phantom Deeps. So Black Phantom Deeps is basically going to be the new raid, the new in-game raid. So when you get to level 25, you and your raid is like, sorry, you and your guild would be like, okay, we raided to raid. So Black Phantom Deep is going to be the raid you're going to play and get the best gear from. Well, I'm pretty sure the game gear is probably going to be the same as the dungeons in the same level, maybe, but we'll see. But the facts from this is we got a big picture look at the season discovery and learned about the first fully redesigned raid for the level 25 endgame Black Phantom Deeps. For the first 3 challenging bosses, Baron, Arquinis, Gamura and Lady Saras, players will be pressed to learn new tactics and strategies. This was followed by a quick look at the other 4 bosses and then a sneak peek at some level 25 raid loot that will drop. So basically, all the bosses now are going to be way harder. They're going to have more tactics. You know, it's actually going to feel like a raid. It's going to feel like a real raid with tactics. You know, you have to do stuff or else you're going to wipe. And it's even going to have, it even has a raid loot. You know, so you can probably get really, really strong gear from this raid. I've heard somewhere that the raid timer is going to be on 3 days. So when you complete the raid, you can do the same raid again 3 days later. That's how they're gonna. So only 3 days lock. So you do it, 3 days lock. So last thing we have to talk about, which is the one that I'm actually most. I mean, the Rune Engraving is cool, but this one here is probably my favorite thing that is coming to Classic Season of Discovery. And it is for the PvP players. So if you had any chats out there, girls and guys who love playing PvP, you know, player versus player, you're gonna love this one last. So basically, Ashen W PvP event. So basically the entire Ashen W is turned into a very big battleground. Like occasionally, like, you know, it's gonna be like an event thing. It's probably gonna happen like more times a day, I would believe, because, you know, it sounds really fun. So it has to be a thing that happens a lot. So Ashen will periodically host a PvP event resembling Altar Valley, transforming the entire map. Each faction features a leader to be defeated, accompanied by bases and camps across the terrain. Conquering these locations diminishes the faction's boss health, mirroring the mechanics of Altar Valley. This open world PvP event occurs regularly. So basically, again, entire Ashen W, as you can see behind me, this map here, is turned into a battleground, basically Altok Valley, where you have one faction leader at each place, and you're gonna have camps everywhere on the map. Every time you complete these camps and take them down, the leaders are getting less health. Basically, Altok Valley. So this is definitely the thing that I've been most excited for. I mean, can you imagine this entire zone here behind me turned into a battleground? You're gonna have like 100,000 people running around and just fighting insane and trying to kill down those bosses. I think this is gonna be amazing, like insanely good, like so good. So I'm very looking forward to this. So I think if you like PvP, this is definitely going to be something for you. But again, this is actually basically it. We are getting, you know, it's coming out on the 30. We're getting level, like capped gameplay. We're gonna get new in-game. We're gonna get Rune Engraving. We're gonna get new class designs. We're gonna go Black Phantom Deeps as the first raid. Get Ashen W as the first PvP event, like, you know, very big PvP event. And that's it. That's the entire Season of Discovery, which is coming out in just 2 days. So I hope this video was helpful for you all. I had some questions in my comment section asking, could you please talk about this game, like why should we play it and what is it? And I think this video did the trick. You should now know everything about Season of Discovery. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Season of Discovery. Keep in mind, when Season of Discovery is releasing on the 30, I will be streaming it on Twitch, so twitch.tv/Dvalin, DVALIN, and I will be streaming it for probably like 24 hours or something like that. So if you want to, you know, watch me play the game, Season of Discovery, or even play with me, feel free to jump over on my Twitch and, you know, find me over there and streaming. It's gonna be fun. And we also have a guild on Europe. We have a guild for both Horde and Alliance. I have another one who's the guild master for Horde, and I'm gonna be the guild master for Alliance. And so if you want to also join a guild on Europe servers, feel free to come over and join our Discord. You can find it down in the description. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in Season of Discovery in just 2 days.